Do audiobooks help kids read better? Discover a whole new world of digital audiobooks and other spoken word content programs that could change your life, as well as your kids. Math doesn't have to be scary when the right tool is available to help students break through barriers. Today, you'll see a graphing calculator which is helping students get a grip on math easier and faster. Would you like to take the kids for a different kind of family getaway? We visit a family-friendly city on the banks of the mighty Mississippi, Baton Rouge. It's all about you, your kids, and lifestyle. This is Designing Spaces, Kids Spaces. Do audiobooks help kids read better? Discover a whole new world of digital audiobooks and other spoken word content programs that could change your life as well as your kids. There's nothing like getting swept up in a good book. But with so many of us juggling a busy lifestyle, time for reading may seem like an impossible luxury. Kids Spaces visited audible.com in Newark, New Jersey to discover a whole new world of digital audiobooks and other spoken word content programs that could change your life as well as your kids.
Audible is the audio service that allows millions of people to drive to work all over the world listening to Claire Danes or Dustin Hoffman read them a story.
Donald Katz is the founder and CEO of audible.com. Before founding Audible, Katz himself was an author and journalist.
I was a magazine journalist. I was one of the original Rolling Stone writers based in London. I wrote books that a lot of people read, and I was supposed to write a book about the changing of media because of digital technology. And rather than write a book, I decided to start a company.
This is Audible.com's headquarters, where books are brought to life in audio every day in the office's 6 state-of-the-art recording studios.
"Why is he weeping?" asked a little green lizard, as he ran past him with his tail in the air.
Audiobook listeners are a passionate group. They're book lovers, determined to fit more books into their lives.
We feel as if audiobooks are really at the beginning of their growth potential, and there aren't yet enough books for people to listen to. We want every good book that somebody might read to be available in audio.
Beth Anderson has been with Audible.com since the very beginning, some 17 years, and her main task is to introduce new content.
What we're looking for are books that have a strong narrative throughput. So a cookbook wouldn't necessarily work. A picture book obviously isn't going to work, but it can be fiction, it can be nonfiction, it can be a mystery, it can be a biography. Something that's got a strong story is what we like to make available, and what our customers like to listen to.
A focus on the quality of audio performances is essential. 2012's A-List collection featured performances by Hollywood luminaries like Colin Firth, Anne Hathaway, and Nicole Kidman. Other narrators may not be familiar faces, but Audible customers love their voices. Many Audible customers choose their next book because it was read by a favorite narrator.
When we match a book with a narrator, we take a look at the book. We see who's telling the story. Is it first person, third person, male, female? How old are they? Where are they from? Do they have an accent? Is there a dialect? Is there a regionalism?
Kat Lambrix is the production manager here at Audible. Along with her executive and co-producer, she's responsible to cast books with fitting narrators.
We think about who works with this book in terms of age and storytelling, background knowledge, all those things.
According to a recent scientific study, a well-narrated text can help all readers with comprehension and retention. In 2012, together with Amazon, Audible introduced Immersion Reading. With Immersion Reading, owners of the new Kindle Fire and Kindle Fire HD are able to read and listen to the professionally narrated audio at the same time, creating a more immersive and engaging experience.
Most people believe if they read more books, their lives would be more enriched, they'd be more successful, good things would happen, but people just don't have time. So you take this time that's largely in the car, and 100 million Americans drive to work by themselves every morning. and they have hundreds of millions of hours per week that they can use when they realize Audible exists to be readers. We're in Newark, New Jersey at a very cool headquarters with a very open office environment, and people walk in here and they say it looks like Silicon Valley, and here we are on the East Coast where not a lot of companies have these kinds of open technology-driven kinds of environments.
Through Audible's Intern and Audible Scholars program with North Star Academy, top students are recruited in order to gain the beneficial experience of being a part of a high-profile company's operation.
It's a project we initiated back in 2007 to provide internship opportunities to high school students. That internship program, evolved into a scholarship program.
I started working here my senior year of high school, and all throughout my time in college, they asked me to come back and they provided me with a scholarship, which was awesome. As an intern at Audible, I'm gaining professionalism, how to interact with people in the corporate environment.
These kids are part of the company. They're real employees. They go through the employee program. We have various other efforts in the city to become part of the city's efforts, and it's become something that causes people to want to work here because a lot of companies don't really have those kinds of social missions. We just decided to be one of those companies.
For more information on Audible, go to audible.com. To see this segment of Kid Spaces again, visit designingspaces.tv and click on the Kid Spaces section, where you'll find the audible.com video. Be a friend and join in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/dspacestv. What is a graphing calculator? An excellent tool designed to help your kids visualize many abstract math concepts. See how your kids can get a jump on math. Next, here on Kid Spaces. Math doesn't have to be scary when the right tool is available to help students break through barriers. Today, you'll see a graphing calculator, which is helping students get a grip on math faster and easier.
The kids are going back to school, and for most high school students, that means back to a new math class. Math may seem intimidating, but with the right tools to help students visualize and understand the concepts, anyone can excel in math and open the door to a range of exciting careers in engineering and technology. Kid Spaces brought in Laura Herridge, marketing manager for the calculator division at Hewlett-Packard, to meet up with a group of students to practice some exercises on HP's new touchscreen graphing calculator.
Student achievement in STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and math, is an important priority in the U.S. today. The Obama administration has committed over $3 billion in funding to improve STEM education and prepare students for a STEM-based economy. The key industries in this new economy are energy, healthcare, and technology. So jobs for IT professionals, computer engineers, doctors, and researchers will be in high demand as these industries boom for the next 10 years.
Okay, so to start, who here thinks math is a little scary? You probably think that there are two types of people out there: math geniuses and the rest of us. But what you may not know is that there are several different types of learning styles. There are visual learners, auditory learners, and tactile learners who learn best through hands-on experience. And today we're going to see how practicing math with the HP Prime Graphing Calculator appeals to all three learning styles. What each of you guys has in front of you is the new HP Prime Graphing Calculator. Most college-bound students will need to learn to use a graphing calculator at some point. So who here has used one before? Great. And do you guys notice anything different about this one?
It definitely looks a lot more like a smartphone than any other calculator.
It's touchscreen.
It's definitely lighter and thinner.
It's definitely modern.
It even has apps.
It's really clear.
In the most recent international student assessment from PISA, American students ranked 25th on math achievement. If we want our students to be competitive on a global level and get great jobs, we all need to work together to prepare them for success in math courses.
So now that we have our calculators, we're going to jump right into a challenge. We're going to learn some calculus. So if I walk at 2 feet per second for 5 seconds, how far do I go?
10 feet.
Exactly. And we can use a graph to visualize this. Here on the y-axis, we have the speed that I'm walking, and on the x-axis, we have my time. And we could actually count up the little boxes underneath that line between 0 and 5, and we would get 10 boxes. Or we can ask Prime for something called the signed area under the line to get the same results. So the shaded green area under the line adds up to my total distance traveled between 0 and 5 seconds. But in the real world, cars, planes, and people don't really travel at a constant speed. So a real velocity function might look something more like this. Here we have a runner who speeds up quickly at first, but he can't keep increasing his speed at the same rate. So that speed increase starts to drop off over time. We could try to count up the boxes underneath the curve between 0 and 5 to see how far he travels, but it would be really difficult to estimate this accurately. So what we can do is ask Prime, again, for the signed area under the curve and see exactly how far the runner goes in the first 5 seconds. So in our case, the runner has traveled 14.9 feet in the first 5 seconds, and the green shaded area under the curve is the visual representation of something called a definite integral. Now, I know that sounds like a pretty advanced calculus topic, but when we see it up here, it doesn't seem so bad, right?
Not at all.
Many of us are visual and tactile learners who struggle at first with explanations of abstract concepts. By visualizing mathematical objects and graphs and testing our own experiments, we make complex theories more concrete and accessible.
The last thing we're going to do today is explore some equations with the advanced graphing app. Prime is the only graphing calculator that can instantly graph practically anything in X and Y, which means that we can draw some pretty cool stuff. So everyone, touch to open the advanced graphing app on your calculator. I've wirelessly sent you some equations, so select the ones you want to see and click the plot key. What do you guys think?
That is common. How did you do that?
Pretty cool, right? Who knew you could draw pictures with math? So overall, what do you guys think about the new HP Prime graphing calculator?
This thing is pretty cool. I didn't know any of this would be possible with a calculator.
To learn more, visit hp.com/calculators.
Coming up on Kid Spaces, we visit a kid-friendly city on the banks of the mighty Mississippi and getting in touch with some Southern soul. Don't go away. There's more Kid Spaces coming up right after the break. Would you like to take the kids for a different kind of family getaway? We visit a family-friendly city on the banks of the mighty Mississippi, Baton Rouge.
It's the kind of city that touches everyone, adults and kids. It's a quality, a friendliness, old school and young at heart. It's that quality we call charm, and the place is Baton Rouge, the state capital of Louisiana. Kid Spaces wanted to share some of the charm with you and your family, and take a look at some of the family fun and activities that will leave you charmed. We hooked up with Shannon Hurst Lane, a Louisiana-based travel writer, mom, and founder of TravelingMamas.com. With Shannon in the lead, we couldn't help but wonder what her favorite activity might be when she plays tourist in her own town.
Welcome to Baton Rouge, the capital city of Louisiana. It's also the place where I was born and raised and where I'm raising my family. I'd like to take you and show you a few places where my parents used to take me when I was a kid, where I bring my kids for some family fun, and hopefully when you come to visit this great city, you'll take yours as well. So come along. We're here at the Rural Life Museum. We're about to take a step back in time and see what life was like over 120 years ago. We're inside of the exhibit area to see aspects of everyday life back in the day, such as this carriage that maybe a mom would take her kids out for the day for fun, activities, just seeing the town. And as you're walking around, you might encounter some of the docents.
This is the kitchen. The kitchen is separate from the main house for two reasons. One is just to keep the heat out of the house, you know, how hot it gets in the summer. Another is just a safety hazard. You just don't want a big fire in your house. Let's go inside and have some coffee, which is part of the South Louisiana tradition.
Coffee? Yes.
To get a cup of coffee involved a lot of steps back then. First of all, you take your whole coffee beans, you bring it over here to your roaster, you put them in the roaster, and then you shut the thing, and then you would put this down in the fireplace and get them nice and roasted as you turn the knob to make sure that they are nice and brown. After they're toasted, you put them over here. This is a grinder, and you just go around and around, getting that fresh bean, nice and the right texture. Open this little door, and there's your fresh ground coffee.
It smells so good. One of the favorite things I like to do when I'm bringing my kids downtown Baton Rouge is to find one of the food trucks through their social media channels. Come downtown, you have an instant picnic. I'll take a Miguel, please. We're at the Capitol Park Museum, and I'm going to take you on a short little walking road trip through the state of Louisiana to show you some fun cultural things. Hot boudin, cold couscous, come on tigers, push, push, push. That's what you're going to hear every fall here in Baton Rouge, and you can find out more about the art of tailgating at the Capitol Park Museum. Baton Rouge is also in the heart of plantation country. And while you're here, go down River Road and check out some of the plantations you might be able to see with your family. And you can check out the interactive exhibits like the dance hall. Be sure to check out the Mardi Gras exhibit while you're here at the Capitol Park Museum. And if you happen to be in town during the Mardi Gras season, don't forget Baton Rouge is the most family-friendly Mardi Gras destination in the world. Next, we visit the old state capitol. With its medieval architecture, it reminds us more of a castle than anything we think of as from the South. During the Civil War, a young lady named Sarah Morgan loved to visit this place. And it's said her ghost is even still here today.
I am Sarah Fowler Morgan, guardian spirit of this glorious castle.
Let's go see the state capitol building. Take note of the names of each of the states engraved on the steps. They appear in the order which they were admitted into the Union. This is one of the unique aspects of this building. This is the Louisiana State Capitol, home of the Louisiana Legislature, the Governor's Office, and also the executive branch. It's a great place to visit, and it's also the tallest state capitol in the United States. The USS Kidd was called the Pirate of the Pacific. It's a Fletcher-class destroyer. It was named after Rear Admiral Isaac Kidd. You can actually enroll to spend the night on board the ship and see what life was like during World War II and see if you were cut out for the Navy lifestyle. Can you believe that there were 330 men on board this ship during World War II? You can take the kids to spend the day here at the USS Kidd, even if you can't spend the night. It's fun to walk around, and while they're having a great time, they're learning a little bit of history. I was born and raised in this city of Baton Rouge, and I've chosen to raise my family here as well. I might travel all over the world seeing fabulous places to bring your family, but I can't think of a better place to have a fun, relaxing, educational family vacation than right here in the city of Baton Rouge. So I hope that the next time you're making plans to travel, you'll consider my city, Baton Rouge, and come have a visit. Bye.
To find out more, go to visitbatonrouge.com, the official travel resource for Baton Rouge. To see this portion of the show again, go to designingspaces.tv and click into the Kids Spaces section, where you will find a selection of videos as seen on Kids Spaces. Be sure to join in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/dspacestv.
It's all about you, your kids, and lifestyle. This is Designing Spaces, Kids Spaces.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show or to find out how to be part of the show, log on to designingspaces.tv. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/dspacestv. Or friend us on Facebook. Type in the words Designing Spaces. Connect with us on Pinterest to follow all of our design ideas and share yours with us. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.